I've installed 4 irrigation systems, the oldest of which lasted over 25 years. There may be better or cheaper ways to install a system, but this build works. If your lawn is in good shape, you have a decision to make because installing a system really tears up your lawn. In my case, we hired a national lawn service to get rid of some weeds and improve our grass. In August, the 5th application killed the entire lawn. I fired them and decided to start from scratch. I began by applying weed killer to anything remaining that was not grass. In North Carolina, I needed an irrigation system for starting from seeds and to maintain tall fescue in July and August. With previous irrigation systems I installed, I laid Bermuda hybrid and emerald zoysia sod and highly recommend an irrigation system. You need to identify where you will tap into the water lines and have access to 115 volts to run the controller. I have well water, so I have chosen a location in the crawl space to cut into the water line before the whole house water filter. I cut into 3/4 inch PEX piping and installed a cutoff valve for winterization and emergencies. The water comes through the wall and into an anti-siphon valve, a hose bib for a garden hose and draining water in the winter, and then into the ground to feed the water sprinkler valves. In my current situation, I have well water with 3/4 inch PEX tubing. I have successfully run 2 to 3 heads at once in the backyard, so I am designing this system accordingly. When I say 2, 3, or 4 heads, I am talking about distance sprinklers that shoot up to 32 feet. Smaller sprinklers used for narrow areas only shoot about 15 feet and use less water, so you can use 4, 5, or even 6 in one zone. You need 150 or 200 foot landscaping measuring tape and sketch the layout of your lawn. Try to strategically place the heads to cover the lawn efficiently, keeping overlap to a minimum. The goal is to avoid dry areas where the sprinklers don't reach. If you have a rectangular yard, the design is simple. Just place a head at each corner and maybe one in the middle. The corner heads would later be adjusted to shoot 90 degrees. I placed mine 35 feet apart. On the larger side, I added a head that sprays 180 degrees, 35 feet from each corner head. Once you decide where you need sprinkler heads, decide where the valves go and which heads they feed. Sketch your layout and mark it on the lawn with landscaping marking paint. Try to keep your trenching at 90 or 45 degrees. The PVC pipes have a little flexibility to them, but not much. Make sure you contact 811, call before you dig. Although by code electrical and water mains should be 18 inches below the surface, cable TV and phone lines are generally very shallow and easy to cut. You do not want to cut any utility lines. By measuring your layout, you can determine how much PVC piping you need and additional supplies, valves, PVC glue and cleaner, couplings, 90-degree elbows, 45-degree elbows, T's, threaded ends, funny pipe elbows, and sprinkler heads. You will also need sprinkler wire to power the valves. If you have 4 valves, you can use 18.5 wire. The white wire is your common. If you have 6 valves, use 18.7 wire. Choose a controller that can handle the number of valves you have. I like to be able to handle future valves, so I like to order a controller with additional capacity. I also bought a Wi-Fi controller so I can easily change programming and run the sprinklers from anywhere if it is extremely hot. I rented a moderate-sized trencher and set my depth to around 12 inches deep. These machines are slow. Trenching will take hours. After all mechanical trenching is done, you will have to clean up some corners and hand dig near any wires, landscaping pipes, or water pipes. Purchase an underground valve box large enough to house the number of valves you have. In my situation, I bought 2 valve boxes and dug holes for the valves and boxes. It is now time to assemble the pipes. I find it convenient to glue 2, 3, or 4 10-foot sections of PVC pipe together and drop them in the trench. I place a short pipe or board across the trench to keep the open end from falling in. You don't want dirt in the water line. Use the purple cleaner on both male and female, and then use the PVC glue on both pieces. Attach the pieces together with a slight twist and hold it together for a few seconds. If you release pressure too soon, the pieces will start to pull apart. Use a 3/4 inch threaded PVC fitting to attach the valves to the PVC pipes. I use Teflon tape on every threaded connection. Plan ahead, adding some extra PVC piping near the valves in case you have to replace a valve in the future. To connect a sprinkler head to the piping system, I use a threaded T or threaded end fitting. I screw in a straight funny pipe fitting, attach 12 to 18 inches of funny pipe tubing, and attach that to a funny pipe elbow, which I screw into the sprinkler head using Teflon tape. The sprinkler wire goes in the trench with the pipes, running from the valves to the controller. I like to fasten the wires to the pipes with wire ties, making sure the wire is under the PVC pipe. This way, if you accidentally dig someday and hit a pipe, you won't cut the wire. Wiring is very easy. The valves have 2 wires. One wire goes to the white common wire, and the other to the blue, red, yellow, or green wire. The controller will have a common, which grounds all of the valves. If you have 4 valves, 1 wire from each valve will be twisted together with the white wire that goes to the controller common. For Zone 1, use any one of the other wires. For Zone 2, choose another remaining wire. Make sure you place a PVC backflow preventer in the water line before the water pipe goes through the wall of the house. I also strategically place faucet valves that can be used with a garden hose or to help drain the system for the winter. Once you have everything completed, You should test the system for leaks, then you can begin covering the trenches. Make sure you compact the soil in the trenches to reduce ruts in your lawn. If you have low spots in your yard, this is the time to correct that by spreading around a planter's mix and leveling it with a landscaping rake. Purchased soil will have chunks in it, so I finish up by rototilling every area that will receive grass seed. Rototilling aerates the soil, so you will need to level everything with a landscaping rake. This will also expose those small rocks, so you can remove them. Every stone you ignore will be a weed in the future. It seems every time I dig up a weed, there is a stone in the soil. The final step is seeding. Try to apply a nice even layer of seeds. Over-applying seeds does not help. I set the controller to water each zone for 10 minutes, 3 times a day, until the lawn is established. Then I will reset the controller to maintain a beautiful, healthy lawn. After a few weeks, you may need to add more seeds. A perfect lawn takes patience.